am the local president in San Francisco for the Association of Flight Attendants of United Airlines. Merged 5 years ago. United Airlines did this merger. We've been in contract negotiations for 3 years. And the company is at, the share price is at 162% rise. Our CEO has a 32% raise in his salary, and it's time that the company be serious with us and start negotiating. We just want a decent working wage. And there are many different issues right now, but right now our joint negotiating committee is in negotiations, and they've been in it for 3 years, and the company is not negotiating in good faith. And there are many, many different issues on the table right now. Pay, work rules, health benefits. We are the frontline workers, we are the friendly skies, and we are the ones who keep the passengers coming back, and we deserve to share in the company's profits.
And they have a lot of profits, you're saying. Why won't they?
The company is making the most money they've ever made.
And there are other unions out here, the Teamster mechanics?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our brothers and sisters from many, many different unions, and all the other unions within United are here out today to support us. There's 3 different airlines. It's United, Continental, and Continental Micronesia. The pilots already have a contract, but for the flight attendants, we have to fly separately. We can't fly on the same metal, and that's why this airline is so fractured right now. So we want the company to get this done so we can all fly together as one airline. And as flight attendants, we're not going to remain silent, we're not going to be invisible, and we'll be out here again as much as we have to.
In negotiations.
Why is it taking so long? What's wrong with this company? What's going on?
You got me. I am baffled by the profits we're taking in. It's incredible that we will be with the company and can't get nothing done at this point.
And how long have you worked for United?
I've been with United 29 years. Yes.
Well, they say that they're making a lot of profit.
Yes.
And yet they say they can't give you what you're asking?
Right. And they've been pretty much bragging about the profits they've been taking in for the past, year and a half now.
They're making a customer pay a lot of money, bags, this and that, and everything. How is it for an airline worker living in the Bay Area with the cost of living and everything? How can workers do it?
Well, it's very hard, I'm telling you. And we would like to get a contract so we can sustain staying here. You know?
What do they say? Do they want you to pay more for healthcare costs?
Healthcare,
So cost shifting, in other words,
absolutely.
They want you to take their...
Medical is a big deal to them, and they really want to take that away from the employees and make them pay for it. So,
is this the first picket line you've been on?
No, many of picket lines, many of them.
This is a pretty good one.
Yeah, very big. This is about the biggest I've been on.
It seems
So,
like they're antagonizing a lot of the workers.
Yes, they are. I love this turnout. This is great. I'm Melvin Durst.
And you're a mechanic?
Mechanic up at the base. Yes.
Good. So, what do you think the future is? Because it seems like, they're going after workers all over.
Yeah.
Attacking workers, wages, and
The future for this airline is going to depend on this contract. You know, I would love for everything to be worked out sooner rather than later, but we need to get something hammered out with the flight attendants, us the mechanics, and everybody else who falls under the union contracts right now. 20, well, as far as this, it's negotiations have been 4 years now. Yeah.
No contract before you.
Right.
What does that say about our system here?
That it need to be tweaked. It needs to be worked on. It needs to be.
4 years to negotiate.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Tina Norton. My working colleagues, active working colleagues.
How long did you work at United?
38 years. I've been retired for 11. That's a mentality they brought with them. And that's all they know. Southwest Airlines has the highest union membership in the country and the most happy employees. Their attitude when they go to work is, let's go make money. And these guys is, let's just hassle the employees.
Tell me that story.
attendant, I'm a mechanic, work out here at the maintenance base for United San Francisco.
So why are you out here today?
Support our flight attendants who have been working, trying to get an amalgamated contract for a long time, kind of like us. Been at it for a long time.
And they're making a lot of profit.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they want to give some of that up?
Well, I think it goes back to the whole thing about corporate greed. You know, it's like even if I think if the company made twice as much money as they make, they'd still be playing the same stupid games they play with us all the time. You know.
So how long have you been without a contract?
Well, our contract became amendable becoming about July of 2012, and we've been having like these talks, amalgamated talks, for quite some time now. And then the company filed for mediation over a year ago, so we're in a holding game with the Railway Labor Act, and it just takes a long time to get anything done. And Jeff Smisek said back in 2010 with the proposed merger at the subcommittee hearings that he wanted to have joint collective bargaining agreements as soon as possible with all labor groups. And here we are 2015, 5 years later, still ain't got them.
Scott, I'm from SFO, the machine shop. We're protesting the fact that United Airlines is not playing fairly at the negotiating tables. The flight attendants today, the mechanics, the technicians a month ago, they're not playing fairly. They don't want to negotiate. That's why we're out here. We're just trying to exercise our rights to let the company know that they need to start negotiating fairly. They have plenty of money. We're not asking for the moon. We just want something that we can represent and be proud of and get back to being a proud airline.
Kevin Wilson representing NABET, National Association Broadcast Employees and Technicians, CWA. 10,000 members standing with our brothers and sisters with the flight attendants here today. United, there's been a long struggle going on at United since the merger of Continental in 2010. Where the CEO promised that all of the labor agreements would be resolved within 1 year, 2011. Here we are now in the middle of July 2015 and nowhere close to a contract for the flight attendants.
What does it say about contract negotiations? 4 years?
This is ridiculous. It's corporate greed at its finest, as always, and of course the CEO continues to take profits and line his pockets. He's just got a 30% raise. So he's doing very well for himself, but just ignoring the men and women that make this company great.
You think it's just United, or it's happening generally?
You know, it's happening everywhere, but the corporate greed, it seems like the more the profits, the tougher they are at the bargaining table. We see that in broadcasting with Disney, NBC, Fox, and we have to just stand up and say no, enough is enough, and that's why we're out here today.
And one of the issues is cost shifting. They say they want them to pay more for health care.
Yeah, healthcare is a big issue. I'm not up on all of those issues, but I can tell you healthcare is a very big issue. A lot of these things that they have had previously, as you know, when United went bankrupt, they lost their pension. They went to the Pension Guarantee Fund. Suddenly, they miraculously came out. The CEOs got huge bonuses, and no one here on this line has forgotten that today.
And there's a lot of solidarity, it seems, from different unions.
Absolutely.
A lot of pilots, mechanics.
Seems
like they're bringing everyone together.
They're all out here, and it's not just the airline industry, it's all unions out here today. I've seen Teamsters out here, IBW, I've seen all kinds of folks out here today.
And
Let's go friendly skies! Hey,
my dad told me that the union here, they were getting like unfair wages and there were a lot of like labor disputes. So he asked me to come and support them.
is your dad a union member?
Yeah, he is.
What union?
9410.
Is he facing attacks on the job too with his wages and conditions?
No, he works for AT&T, but since they're part of like the union, the CWA, like they came out too, like all the people in red shirts.
This is solidarity.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You think they should be paid a decent wage?
Yeah, it's not a question.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Is this your first big event?
No, it's not.
What do you think of it?
I think it's great that like everyone's out here and supporting it.
United Airlines has got it made. Overworked, underpaid.
United Airlines has got it made.
Overworked, underpaid.
I'm the local council president here in San Francisco for the Association of Flight Attendants. On behalf of United
United Airlines flight attendants, I would like to thank all of you for coming out and supporting us here today. Just to name a few of the people that are out here, the groups are out here today: the San Mateo Labor Council, CWA locals, ALFA United Airlines pilots, the Teamsters United Airlines mechanics, the IAM United Airlines machinists. Wow, this is a long list. RAFA, our United Airlines Retirees Union. We have retirees from our sister union out here too. California Labor Federation. The Painters Union. The Teachers Union. The Taxi Cab Drivers. The Newspapers Guild. NABIT. University of Professional and Technical Employees. OPEIU. And last but not least, IATSE Local 16, the Theater and Stagehand Union, who donated their time and resources for today's rally. How many of you have received a 32% raise? United CEO Jeff Smizek's paycheck continues to grow and earnings are going through the roof, even as United underperforms against our competitors. United Airlines is bringing in record-breaking profits and share prices up 162% since our contract negotiations began 3 long years ago. Share prices do not save lives, we do. That's the taxi guys. They said they would go by and beep. This merger was initiated 5 years ago. Executives and shareholders are cashing in while passengers and flight attendants are left dealing with a fractured operation. Enough is enough. Flight attendants will not pay for this merger. United needs to negotiate a fair contract for flight attendants to bring the operation together, and they can afford to pay for it. Flight attendants are the first responders on the aircraft in an emergency. We are who the traveling public depends on. We have been negotiating for 3 years too long. We need a contract that allows us to share in the profits. One of the world's leading airlines needs an industry-leading contract, and flight attendants will not settle for anything less. Look around, United Airlines. We are the workers at United, and we are united. We stand here today in solidarity with our union brothers and sisters. United needs to take us seriously at the table. Our sacrifices made this merger possible. We need to share in its success, and we will not settle for any less. We will not be silent. We will not be invisible. And we will not back down. It is our turn, and it's our time to get a contract. Contract now!
The company's making billions of dollars, very high record profits. They're not sharing with the workers. That's wrong.
and they are making a lot of profits. Why aren't they sharing it with the workers at United?
It has to do with capitalism.
I think there's a lot of solidarity here.
There's a lot of solidarity here. But I think there's solidarity growing throughout the Bay Area where workers are being pushed down further and further. In San Mateo, where I live, only 20% of the workers who work for the county live in the county because they can't afford it. And that's the situation everywhere.
So they're driving workers out and say you can't live. Where do you go?
Absolutely, absolutely. They go so far out that there's no way to get back to their jobs. Because like Redwood City built 2,000 new apartments last year, 2,800 for a one bedroom. Workers, regular workers cannot afford that.
So these flight attendants can't afford to.
Of course not.
So what they're building here is not for the workers who actually live here in San Mateo County.
Well, it's going to reach a crisis because all companies I've seen are advertising for low-wage workers. They can't afford to live on it. So you can't work an 8-hour shift and then go live under the bridge. That's untenable.
And what union are you with?
I'm with the Painters, 913.
Okay, thank you.
United Airlines is mighty cheap. Hey, hey. 3-3. United Airlines is mighty cheap. Hey, hey. 3-3. United